Hello, this is Bishop God Hunt. This is the Powerful Devotional. Welcome back. I feel like I'm in kind of fatigues today. Of course, I really do. I guess that's kind of a fatigue pattern. But let me just say this about what I want to talk to you about today is that Daniel prayed. And actually, Daniel was accused of his prayer life. Now, I just want to ask you, because would you be guilty of praying? Would you be guilty of praying? Now, you know the story in Daniel chapter 6. The way it goes is that there were 120 provinces, and he appointed a high officer over each province. But then the king also chose Daniel and to supervise the high officers to protect the king's interests. So Daniel was over everybody. And they were all upset. they were upset, man. Why is Daniel always the choice? So then they said they tried to self that Daniel proved himself more capable than all the other administrators because Daniel's great ability and the king had made plans to place him over the whole entire empire. So then it says, we got to find some way that they can get to him. So they tried to criticize, to condemn him, but he was faithful, always responsible, completely trustworthy. So they said the only chance we can find accusing Daniel being connection is rules of his religion. In other words, prayer. The only way they could get him is to cause him to commit the crime of prayer. Have you committed the crime of prayer? So listen, because he was so faithful, he was so dedicated. He was so trustworthy. I want you to be like that on your job. I want people that don't like you, they can't come at you because you're so faithful. You're on time. Hello. You're on time. You're serious about what you do. You get everything accomplished. You're accountable. You're so tight that even the devil can't come against you on your job. But what he can do is about what the things that relate to righteousness, and he wants to fight you for that. So they found that they said, well, Darius, why don't you have a law that says for 30 days that anybody that doesn't worship you or prays to any other god, if they pray to anything else for 30 days, you're going to feed them to the den of lions. So do you think that affected Daniel? Do you think that affected Daniel? No, it didn't. So it says that, so Darius signed the law, and so when Daniel learned that the law had been signed, listen to this, he went home, knelt down as usual in his upstairs room with his windows open toward Jerusalem, and he prayed 3 times a day, just as he's always been doing, giving thanks to God. Then the officials went together to Daniel's house, found him praying and asking for God's help. So they went straight to the king and reminded him about the law. So you know how that is, man. He learned about the law. He went home. I said, oh, I'm not supposed to pray? He went home, went upstairs, opened the windows toward Jerusalem and prayed for God's help so people could hear him. It wasn't like they didn't know it. But then they came to the house, saw him, and what was he doing? He's praying. On his knees, praying, crying out to God. They said, okay, we got you now, buddy. So what did they do? They went to Darius. They said, hey, Daniel, didn't you sign a law? The next person that does it, he's going to be thrown to the den of lions. Well, yeah, I did say that. Well, good. Daniel's guilty. Daniel's guilty of praying. Are you guilty of praying? Would you have that kind of fortitude that you're going to pray no matter what? If the law of the land said there will be no more praying, would you stop praying? I don't know. I'm just asking you a question. That's just a question I'm asking. So, of course, he went into the lion's den. Sure, he did. He went in there. And, of course, Darius was upset because Darius really did not want to have to punish or kill Daniel. But he had to do it by his own law. So, anyway, he went in there and he came back the next day. And so he cried into the den, and he said, oh, Daniel, is thy God whom thou servest continually able to deliver thee from the lions? And you know what Daniel's answer was? He said, long live the king. But he said, send his angel to shut the lions' mouths so they won't hurt me. He said he sent an angel to shut their mouths so they won't hurt me. And he says, for I have been innocent in thy sight, and I've not wronged you, the majesty. So the king was overjoyed. Listen, as the king gave orders to arrest the men who had maliciously accused Daniel. This is right at 5. Give it 2 more seconds. And then he had thrown them into the lion's den along with their wives and their children. The wives and their children, because those guys here, you influence your family when you mess up with God. The wives and the children were thrown into the lion's den because they had accused Daniel wrongly. My question still is, would you be guilty of praying? This is Bishop Garland Hunt, Powerful Devotional. I'll talk to you later.